Well, welcome, you folks. We're glad to have you with us virtually this afternoon. This is the 16th of August of 2023. I'm Don Snow, and I'm in Provo, Utah. And this is our Utah Valley Technology and Genealogy Group, our family history update class for this month. Gerhard Roof is our our host that's hosting all these things, and we just couldn't get along with it without him. He's the one that helps me get all the typos and everything out of my programs and problems so that they work. Uh, we're going to be talking today about Internet Archive's Wayback Machine. Now, you may wonder what that Wayback Machine means. That's a nickname that came to it from an old Bullwinkle cartoon, which transported people back. This was the 1960s, transported people back to earlier days so they could see what was going on in the earlier days. And the guy that started the Internet Archive, his name is Brewster Kahle, Kahle, called the Wayback Machine the part that where they save the old stories, the old copies of web pages. So all the old web pages are on there. So even web pages that are now deleted and not on the internet are stored on here, or as they change, the old versions are stored on. And that's what we're talking about today. And so that's what he calls the Wayback Machine. There's links that tell you more about this in a minute. Here's what we're going to be talking about. The Internet Archive itself, first of all, as to what that is, and the URL, Uniform Resource Locator, which is the website, the link to it, is archive singular .org. So it's easy to remember, archive.org. If you put archives plural, you get something else. Or if you put archive.org.com, you get something else. So it's just archive.org. Uh, on the Internet Archive are stored all kinds of out of copyright books, movies, old videos, old TV shows, music, concerts in the past, old records, old CDs, all kinds of stuff. It's a gold mine of information. And especially for us family historians, it's helpful because there's so many things on there that we want to talk about that were out of date. The Wayback Machine is only part of that. And that's where they store all these copies of the old, they call them snapshots, of the old archive, of the old uh, Internet Archive, the old website, the old Internet World Wide Web. We want to talk about what's on that and how to use it. And we'll show some examples of that with some of the early things that on my website and on our UV tag website and so on is what's like. And then we'll show also how you get to it, how you can make sure that a website that you're working with today is saved on there. There's a way you do that. The class notes for this class are online now. And Gerhard helped me update them and correct them last night. And so they're on this website, this that you see on the screen now, UVTAGG, that's Utah Valley Technology and Genealogy Group.org. And then classes /Dons, and then Dons classes.html. All my old links are on there for all my old classes for the last 20 or 30 years. We'll look at that too here in a few minutes. That has links, and it also gives you the links to watch the recent videos of the classes because Gerhard saves all these. This is being recorded today, and he'll post that on our Facebook web page. We have a Facebook page, and it'll be there for a couple of months, but then he'll post it permanently on our YouTube channel. And so many of my past videos are on there. We're going to be looking at some demos, the Internet Archive itself, then the Wayback Machine, what that looks like, and so on, the contents and the use of it. And we'll show you how to find things and what to do with it, and then how to save websites that you may be interested in now to be sure that they're saved on there if you want to come back to it in the future on that, and then look at some examples. Now, let me shift gears. Let me get to my notes and show you what the notes look like. They are stored right, if I can find where they're stored. I think it's is it this website? Yeah, this is the website. Okay, now I'm going to have to make this a little bit larger. Make this is in Chrome. This is the link, and now you're seeing it. Well, let me shift it. Because of my poor eyesight, I use white on black because that's easier for me to see. Let me make this a little bit larger. I'm going to roll the mouse wheel. So I'm holding down the control key and rolling the mouse wheel, and that's enlarging the picture. So this is Don Snow's class notes page. To see it the way you would normally be seeing it, I'll turn off for temporarily here. Up there on the top, this is an extension that I've got on here on my computer that I use to make this into reversed this is the normal way that you would see it. That when you log on, this is what you would see. Or if you wanted a little bit more increased contrast, that's that. And there are other options on here. You can change it to that's grayscale, but the one for me that's easiest to see is the reverse on there. I think maybe for now I'll leave it this way so that you can it'll be the way that you're used to looking at it. This is updated as of yesterday, and so there's various pages here on the start of different. I do accordion concerts here at Jamestown in St. George or in Provo that I they're all listed on here and so on. And then you scroll down a little ways and there's the links for all the classes. And here's the classes coming up. And the classes coming up, there are two of them. Today's class, that's this one. Today's date, this is written in international date format. So it's 2023-08-16. When you use that international date format, everything alphabetizes in chronological order. And so it makes it really easy if you're doing a bunch of letters or a bunch of photos or something, put the date in that format, not in genealogy format. And then they sort in chronological order. So here's the link. This is the notes for today's class, Internet Archives Wayback Machine. This, incidentally, is the class next time that we'll be doing next month on whatever that date is, the 20th of September. I'm going to talk about documenting your own life, ideas for that. Now, if I click on the link for today, I'll click. These are the notes for today. This is the notes for the Internet Archives Wayback Machine. That's just corrected as of late last night. Gerhard helped me get this all straightened out and the typos out and make sure that the links work. There's an abstract about what's going on. Here's the information about the introduction to the class, and my email is listed in there, as well as where these notes are stored, so that if you're seeing a printed copy of these notes, that's got the link as to where you can find the online copy, and the online copy has the links automatically. They're hot links, so you can click on them and they work. And there's the item 4 is the problem for today is to talk about the Wayback Machine and what you can do with it. Here's the information about the Internet Archive itself. We'll talk more about that and details here in just a few minutes as to what's on that, and the link to get to Internet Archive, that archive.org, and so on. I just put a link, a bookmark at the top of my browser for the Internet Archive because I use it a lot. So there's information about that. And then here's information about the Wayback Machine and some articles that tell you where to find more information about it. That would be really helpful for you to learn what's going on with it. And then some examples. There's 2 or 3 examples down here that we'll look at, and then the conclusions for the whole thing. Okay, so those notes are online, and Gerhard usually posts a PDF of these in the comments section for Facebook, or in the chat section, a link to these or a PDF of it in the Zoom section. Okay, now let me go back for just a minute to the let's see, Alt tab will get me back to, here we go. So these are the demos that we're going to be looking at. We'll actually log on to Internet Archive, show you what it looks like, and then tell you what's on there, and then log into the Wayback Machine, and we'll do some searches for some of those examples that we had there on the notes. and you'll see from them, from the examples, as to what's in there, and a little bit about how to use it. And then we'll talk about saving websites. Well, before I let me show you. Well, no, I'll do saving websites later, but remind me to do that, because I may forget to do that later. Um, there's an extension that you put on, and I want to illustrate that if I can. Let's go back to the here we go. We're back now to the my Chrome program. I'm going to have to turn my magnifier back on because it's so small there I can't see it. Let's see, a Windows plus sign turns the magnifier back on, and now it's big, but I can roll the mouse wheel, hold down and roll the mouse wheel and make it. Whoops, that is making it smaller. I want to make it a little bit smaller so it's not. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, now I'm rolling the mouse wheel to make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so here are the notes themselves. Now this is Chrome, and what you're looking at is my notes in Chrome itself. Right over here, right here, this item, you can see that it looks like a building, and I've got IA by it. It's right in the center of the screen now. That's the link that I put in there. Just drug it off from the Internet Archive. IA is Internet Archive. And if I just click on that, which I just did, it will take me to the headquarters, the homepage of the Internet Archive. This is what the homepage looks like. Now you see right there in the middle of the screen is that Wayback machine. Let me turn my magnifier off for a minute so you can see the whole thing. This is what the main page looks like. This big building thing is that's their symbol. And in most places from on here, you can get back to this home page by clicking up here in the upper left. There's a picture of that thing, and that'll take you back to this same home page from most places. Now you notice here, Internet Archive, right in the middle, is a nonprofit library of millions of free books, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you hover your cursor over these, it will tell you what's in there. The first thing is the websites that they've got, and it's up in the hundreds of billions of pages. It's phenomenal what these guys store. They do a snapshot of the entire internet, all the sources on the internet, all the pages, every few days, and you'll see examples of that here in a minute. The next one over is texts, and they're up to, I think it's 25 or 30 million. It tells you how many on there. 39 million texts. Then there's videos and music and concerts and old TV broadcasts and all this other stuff that's on here. And so we're dealing today just with the Wayback machine. And the Wayback machine is the center thing right up here. This is right near the top here is where you type in what the URL is. Now to illustrate this, I'm going to type in, I clicked on that, the right there. I'm going to type in uvpafug.org. Now, this organization, our Utah Valley Technology and Genealogy Group, UVTAG, used to be called the Utah Valley PAF Users Group. And so that was our old, the website, .org. I'm going to hit enter. And so I hit enter, and now it's thinking, it's going through, and it's finding. And what it shows here is every date of all of the years that it scanned our website. Now, it looks to me like there's 393 times. I think that's what that says. I'd have to put my magnifier back on to see it. That's the number of times that they scanned that old website of ours. And those little bars, those little black things, show you how many times in each year from when they first started doing that. If you click on any particular year, like I'll go back over here and click on one of these years, then what comes up is a calendar down below And the darker colors, and I can't see them on here because my eyesight isn't good enough, but the ones that are in darker colors are the dates that they scanned our old website. So I'm going to have to turn my magnifier back on to even be able to illustrate it for you. So I clicked the Control X, and okay, now let me find one here's one that's dark right there. Okay, now when you hover over it, you see it gives you the date. That was May 8th of 2003. And it took a snapshot of our thing. So I click on it. Here's what our web page looked like on that date. There's the old Utah Valley PAF users group. Welcome to the Utah Valley PAF users group. And we had that told what our mission was, and so on. Let me turn off that magnifier so you can see it the way you would see it. This was what the thing looked like. Over on the left side were the different sublinks that we had. It told about our group and the mission and about what the meeting was going to be. And let's see for that. I don't remember what date this was, but whatever date it was, let me turn my magnifier back on so I can see it. And we'll go over here to meetings. There's the date. It was the 2002. What's the date on that? 20. I can't even read it. My eyesight isn't even good enough for that. Anyways,
September 10th.
Oh, September 10th. That's what it is. Okay. Down here, here's meetings. I'm going to click on meetings. So I clicked on meetings, and here's what's going on. Okay. The next meeting will be Saturday. Oh, that was the previous meeting. So February 8th. The main presentation was going to be by Dave Rancher from he's still the chief. He's now the chief genealogical officer for the church. He was our main speaker, and he was going to talk about the topic was family history departments in the LDS church. And then the meeting after that was going to be in March, and who was going to be the speaker there? Main meeting, Alan Mann. Alan was going to be the main speaker. He was going to talk, to be announced, so we didn't know what he was going to talk about then. Down below here will be the planned classes for February, and here's a bunch of classes for February. This was what the class was going to be. Over here on this side is let's see, Ralph Hansen was going to do a class. Dwayne Dudley was going to do a class. Jerry Castillo was that day. Dave Rancher was. Gary Gibb, I don't remember him. And so on. So it's, as you look back over the stuff, it brings back memories of what happened in those early days and what were the subjects that were of interest. You look at some of these titles, and you see the things that we were talking about, the documenting sources in PAF 5. So PAF 5 was a main thing in those days. Around the world with DOS and DOS, PAF, and Windows. And anyway, it brings back old memories to as you go through some of these things to see what was there. It's just fascinating to do this and to look at all these old results. So the old websites that were there years ago are on there now. See, it's no longer on there, but these guys have started scanning these. This Brewster Kale started this in 1996. And so it's been going now for, what's that, not quite 30 years of the stuff. He was concerned that we were losing so much information because websites were changing or being deleted and nobody was saving the thing. So he proposed that Microsoft and Google and a bunch of the big companies give them some money and donations and support saving them, which they did. And that's Internet Archive. It started out in San Francisco, and now I'm sure they store stuff on computers, not just in San Francisco, but elsewhere as well. Okay, well, anyway, that's an illustration of the old Utah Valley PAF users group. Now, let me go back and show you Let me click on this I don't know an easy way to get back to let me try to see if the back arrow will help on this thing and get me back to that Wayback Machine search thing. If it will, then I can get back this way, but no, well, it doesn't seem to. So I'll just restart by going to my uh, Internet Archive icon here and go back down. And now I'm going to type in uvtagg.org. So this is now our website. So I click, I hit save, and here is all the saves that they've done. They've saved 274 times. They've saved our current website. They first started saving it in 2011. There's the first one, first date. And so notice that some years they saved it more often than they did others. But they're all on there. Oh, I should mention that up in the upper corner. Well, let me get down to one of these things. Let's click on one of these back in here someplace. I'll just pick one. There's a year. I don't even know what year that was. But 2013. That's 10 years ago. Let me see if I can see. I can see some light blue things here. So there's one that's that they scanned. Let's look at it and see if it. There it is. Okay. Who's the speaker on this one? Dave Wayback. Our next meeting was the 2013. David Wayback. He was going to talk about what was he going to talk about? Solving difficult family history problems. And there's a write-up about it, etc., with the overview and what our website looked like. And here's all the links down the side with the information on there. It's fun to go over this old stuff, but you get hooked watching it because you think, oh gosh, I remember that and I remember that, and we've been going now for nearly 30 years, and so our old website went back to I think it was 2000, wasn't it? Which is not quite. I guess that was the beginning on there. So lots of good stuff that you can track down and see what's going on. How's our time, Gerhard? What's the
5 minutes,
oh, okay, good.
but
All
we
right.
started 3 minutes late.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, I'll try and not keep it too long. I want to keep these to roughly a half an hour on there. Now, let me show you before I forget, let me show you back on my notes how to save it on there so it will be on the online. So I'm going to go back over to, is that my notes? Where are my notes up here? I don't know. I'll go back up here to click on, I've got Dawn's classes right there. I got a link to Mike. Okay, here's my notes. Okay, now this is my notes. My magnifier is still on so that I can see this. So these are my notes that this is the general page that we just updated yesterday. Now over here on this line, there's a line of different bookmarks and different extensions. Extensions are add-on things that you can put on browsers. And there's an extension, this one that looks like the building, the Internet Archive building, that is called saving it to Internet Archive. And I've just downloaded that extension in Chrome on my computer. There's one for each of the other browsers. They have a comparable one, and it'll have something about Internet Archive in the name. If I click on that, I'm opened up to my web page, or my general page. I click on that, and it opens this thing. Okay, where is it? Did I not click? There it is. It says active page. It says page was last archived on August the 16th. That's today. They already archived this thing today. And there's information here on it, and you can archive it again by clicking.
I
this
did
thing.
that, Don. I archived
Oh, you
that
did.
page while you were teaching.
Oh, thanks. Okay, I wondered why it's today. So if I clicked again, it would archive it again. So it's already archived. So this page has been saved, updated as of today. Did you do that with the notes too, Gerhard? or just this main page?
I'll do it with the notes too.
Well, let me illustrate that with the notes.
Okay, go
So,
ahead.
okay, so it's classes coming up, and there's the link right there. Here are my notes. There's the notes, the Internet Archive Wayback Machine. I go up here and click on the link, and it opens up this page, and it says page last archived. Page has not been archived. It's brand new. We just finished it. Gerhard helped me late last night on it. I'll click archive the page, and it got this little round thing that cycles through down there. Well, it's saving this page off, and it'll be finished here in just a second. It'll say, okay, this page is now saved. So there it is. And so you can click to view their saved page if you want to. Now that's an example of how simple it is to save the page. So if you're working on something and you want that page saved so that you can get back to it, click on this, put that little link on there, click on it, and you will have saved the page. So now this page has been archived on there as well. Okay, let me get back to our PowerPoint and see what we're doing here. Let's see if Control or no, an Alt Tab should get me back. Here's okay. Now let me turn off my magnifier so it doesn't annoy you. If you got good eyesight, the magnifier just really annoys you. Okay, we've looked at all these demos then of different sorts of things. And so here's a summary as to what we've done. We talked about this Internet Archive and the Wayback Machine on it. We looked at the Internet Archive itself, and remember there's the link, the URL archive.org, and it's easy to remember. So you can type that in very easily, or you can just put a bookmark. Once you get it on there, then just drag that to put a bookmark on. That's the first, I think it's item 3 on my notes on all of them. Drag the little icon in front of the browser, in front of the address, drag it to your desktop, and you've got a link, or drag it to your browser and put it in with the bookmarks. We talked about the Wayback Machine, which is the summary of all these snapshots of the entire internet. Now keep in mind that it only does the static pages. There's a computer difference between a jargon difference between dynamic and static, but it doesn't do, for example, on family search, that was another example we were going to do, but I won't take time to. You can't do a search now for what it said back in 10 or 15 years ago, because that was a search at that time. And so so it doesn't do that, but it does save all the things that they had the links, like if you wanted to look at the books in those days, or if you want to look at the catalog in those days, that stuff's all on there. We talked about saving websites and showed you how to do that. And then we looked at some examples of the UV tag and other examples of what you can do. Now, we got a couple of minutes. Do you have any questions or any comments? And if you do, just unmute your mic, or Gerhard, if there's anything on Facebook. And by the way, where are you people from in Facebook or Zoom? We sometimes ask you where you're from, just to give an idea as to where you are in the world. But if you have any questions,
They did not respond to my request to tell us where they were from in Facebook.
Oh, okay. All
But
right.
let me share something, Don.
Okay.
Because databases like Family Tree or Ancestry's databases are built of pages that are built as a result of searching. They're not static pages. You don't find those, but you would find websites that have genealogy databases on them. For example, when I built my first website, I took a GEDCOM file and used a program to build web pages. So there's an index to all the people, and there are pedigree charts if you click on each of them, and there are the dynamics of what was in the GEDCOM file. It built the pages, and so for my website in the archive, you can see what that looked like back then. Now, the intent was to update that every 6 months or a year with different information. So it's possible for people who
Yeah.
built their genealogical websites with static pages like I did to find those and eventually be able to search the whole archive for stuff like that.
That's good. That's a good point. That yeah, it's I hope you didn't have any living people in there though.
No, well,
Yeah.
it automatically took living people and named them as living without any details.
Oh, so you didn't? Yeah, that's
So
good.
the
That's good.
program did take care of my kids and myself, for example.
Good. Well, a lot of places did in the early days, still do, make indexes, and those indexes would be a static page because it's an index of
Yes,
what it was like at the time, and those are on there and hence searchable.
yes.
So I noticed that they say on the Internet Archive on the Wayback machine, it says type in the URL, that is what's the old website, or type in keywords. But I tried some keywords and they didn't seem to work very well. So it's primarily, if you know the old URL, and I typed in uvtag.org and that seemed to work. But when I put in http:// that full thing, www, I seem to get more information. So it may be that they haven't got their indexing completely done yet for it. But it's anyway, but you can find so much stuff in there. It's just it's fun, but boy, you get hooked. Yeah, there's just so many things going on.
Marilyn, did you have a comment? I saw your microphone starts like there was things going.
Yeah.
Have a question or a comment?
Yes, I had the same question as you, Gerhard. I have one of those web pages, and my nephew was hosting it, and then it got corrupted, so he took it down. And I keep wondering if I got all of the information off of the web page and had got it put into Family Search. And so this is really wonderful to have. My other question is, you know how Ancestry stopped hosting, I'm trying to remember, what is it that where people would put queries about a family name and things like that. And of course it stopped working, but I was wondering if that, I'm trying to remember what that is called, if that is still up there.
I'll bet it is because
bet
that
it
was
is.
that would have
Okay.
been kind of like a blog. It wasn't I forgot what they called it
A
too.
mailing lists is what you're
Mailing
talking
lists,
about, the
yeah.
message boards.
The message boards. and
Message
that.
boards, that was it.
Yeah. And
I
so,
bet those are there. I bet you
Oh,
could find
wow.
all that old stuff.
I bet I could, because I know sometimes those were so helpful because those were living people that were looking for their grandparents or things like that. So I'm going to have to try this out more. Thank you, Don. you did a good job.
Yeah, but you'll find, Marilyn, you get bogged down. You get, oh gosh, look, I got to check this. I got to check this and again. And oh, I wonder who spoke next month. And I wonder who gave the class. Oh
It's
man.
curiosity. I'm glad we're still curious, though, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll
It's-
never live long enough to do all the stuff we'd like to.
It's true.
Hey, Marilyn, Ancestry.com has been queried 181,000 times,
Wow.
starting in 96.
Really?
That was the first. That's when they,
1996.
1896. So from the very beginning, they are saved, and then they've been queried.
so
That
that's
is-
wonderful.
So that's another thing is I have helped other people with trees, and then I have deleted those trees because I was no longer helping them. And so now this makes me wonder if I could go back if they called me and said, "Oh, can you help me? What about this and this?" Then this may be an opportunity to, I'll have to play around with that.
Yeah, it may be there. They do warn you, don't don't count on the Wayback
There.
machine storing
No.
all your old data though,
No,
because they're not guaranteed for that. So
no,
you need your own backup. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, are there any other
Thank
questions
you.
or comments? Okay, and if there are
Let's
none,
see, Merlin, your mic is unmuted. Did you have a comment?
No. No.
oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Just listening.
Well, we appreciate all you people taking your time this afternoon to be with us. And our next class will be in September, and it'll be on documenting your own life and ways to find information and store it and so on. So we appreciate you being here. There's my email address on there, and it's on all the notes and so on, so that if any of you want to contact me later on, if you're watching this 6 months from now and you got a question, feel free to email me and I'll try and answer it. Thanks very much, all of you. Appreciate you.